So, how do you build your self confidence? Obviously, this question can be answered by different ways and different techniques and different steps that you will go around trying to understand how to do that. But one thing that I've realized is that when it comes to building your self confidence, is that there are certain things that or certain pieces that people miss, which now prevent them from being confident people. Now, I have been told all my life that I have got confidence, that I am well spoken, blah, 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 right? Which is very good. But the thing is, like, there's certain things that I think that were done prematurely in my life or which I continue to do, which put me in a situation where I am what you guys will call a confident person. So how do you go about that? Now, today I want to talk about how do you build confidence, and maybe I want to talk about three things that you can able to use to build your confidence. Right. So most people don't realize this that childhood have got so much significant role to play or to account for the type of person that you are, for the type of values that you have, for the type of things that you aspire to have, or the type of person that you aspire to become. That is very, very essential to remember that this idea of childhood or this phase of your life as a child have shaped you so tremendously about the type of person that you have become right now in your life. So how do you go with the issue or with around building your self-confidence? The first thing that most people don't do, which they need to do, is that you have to acknowledge your weakness. So I've studied like all the high performance in the world, all the way from the comedians, all the way from the actors, all the way from the greatest entrepreneurs of all the times. And when I get to realize is that the first thing that they do is that they acknowledge their weakness. Now, what that does is that when you acknowledge your weakness, you start betting or going 110 or 150 or 700% on your strength. This is why you realize that, the people that are great technically, they will not hire someone that is great technically. They will hire someone that is good at sales or that is good at designing or that is good at whatsoever. So it's the same thing that I always talk about in my content to say that if you are starting a business, you want to hire the opposite of who you are. Because if you hire who you are, then the business won't go anywhere. So the first thing that you need to do is that you need to acknowledge your weakness. So that helps you to build the strength on your confidence, which now elevates your self-confidence. Number two, you need to have been raised by great parents. Unfortunately, that's what for me has worked tremendously. That the confidence and the love and the patience that my mom had on me has really worked out so very much well, to an extent that I have become so much confident in my skills and in my abilities that I can be able to do something. Now, obviously, maybe not all of us had the privilege of being raised by those type of parents. And what that we can do is that we can just somehow try to build values and systems in our life that can help us to be that type of people that we thought we should have been, instead of blaming. Because blaming have got its own expiry date. You get to a certain age and certain point in your life where you realize that you can't blame your parents anymore. The last one, which is number three, is that you need to build skills. I think this is one thing that I've missed in my 20s, and maybe which I've tried to do so much in my 20s as well, to try to build skills. And when I try to talk about building skills, I'm trying to talk about skills that will make you to be valuable in the marketplace. Because sometimes you can learn something and you can be skillful at something, but what you are skillful at, is it valuable enough for you can be able to trade in the marketplace, called society, called economy, So what you wanna try to do is that you wanna continue building skills. So what that does to you is that when you're in a situation where day one you learn how to play a piano, and then day two now you're getting better. So what that does is that it elevates your mood, it elevates how you feel about yourself. Then that helps you to even do more things. So please let me know which one speaks to you in terms of when you are building this self-confidence. Which stage of your life are you in? What are the things that maybe you have used in your life personally to be able to build self-confidence? Because I think that there is a correlation between self-confidence and self-competence and self-opinion. So it's sort of like have those three things like aligned together. But all of these things, it's effort. It's something that you need to do. It's something that somebody has to has to enforce in you. So most people, the way they want to build self-confidence is that they just want to tell yourself, you know what, the world is a bad place. I'm just a good person. There is no much clarity for me that you can be a good person without making the effort of being a good person. And that's the same thing with being a self-confident person, is that you need to make the effort to be able to do something that will actually make you to get there. Because you don't want to build it superficially. You want to build it on top of something that is rigid. So if this content speaks to you, please like and subscribe below.